All right, here we go. We're getting ready for some ladies action down here at HWF.
If I'm not mistaken, is this Pit Chick's first singles match back since her injury?
Yes, it is. At least here at HWF it is.
So I'm not super familiar with Keeley at this time. So what can you tell me about her?
Well, here's what I learned just talking to her a little bit in the back. She's from trained down in the Richmond, Virginia area. She always said that growing up she was kind of the weird kid because as a female she loved watching wrestling. Back in those days, a lot of women were not wrestling fans like they are today. It's so much more accepted today.
Yeah, it is. It's interesting now too. You know, there used to be a stigma amongst the male wrestlers, and maybe I'm peeling back the curtain too much, but that some of the girls, you know, had it easy because you got paid double what we got paid. You didn't have to do as much. But that is not the way the world is now.
You're right.
Now, some of the greatest wrestlers on the planet are women.
Let's face it. Back probably when she was watching, the women wrestlers were more of eye candy than they were actual wrestlers.
Yeah, and don't get me wrong. Like there were exceptions to that rule, but now it's very hard, very hard. And speaking of another future star, holy man, listen to that crowd.
That reaction. People like Lita and Trish Stratus in the 2000s really changed that perception of wrestling from the women going from eye candy to actually being able to wrestle. Then you had the next generation with wrestlers like Natalya Neidhart and so forth, and Mickie James, and a lot of them just really brought female wrestling to what it is today.
Yeah, now I mean it's a stacked roster. In the future, still looks bright too. Like I'm a huge I always look for opportunities to name drop, but I'm a massive fan of Miyu Yamashita. You know what I mean? Like, and these young talents, like they're in good company, but they have a very high ladder to climb, and we're watching first runs for some of these young ladies.
You were saying earlier about how it was almost easier, they didn't have to do as much. Now anymore, when it comes to women training, they have to train just like the men, and they have to train against the men half the time, so they're getting tougher as well.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not the wrestling of yesteryear. Wow, okay. Well, the pleasantries are over.
Well, she mentioned something backstage when I was talking to her a little bit about it. Like she said about being the weird kid liking wrestling when women weren't really big in wrestling. But then she was like,
"Oh my God!"
She said, told me about how much prettier she is than the people of Lewistown. I thought I was a little bit conceited, and now I'm seeing why she said that.
Okay, my question is, how is Pit Chick an affair? It has been a while, almost a year since Pit Chick has been in the ring as an active competitor. She's going up that roll-up.
Well, I'll ask Zach that one because he knows a lot about ring rust being out of action for a little while. How much do you think is going to affect Pit Chick on that one, Zach?
I mean, you're going to see a little bit. The size difference is going to play a factor here more than ring rust, I think, because Danny, again, like she trains with some rough customers. Like, look at that combo. Like, didn't miss a beat. However, I think that thankfully they had that. She had that exhibition bout a week ago. I think that hopefully that helped her get the nerves out of her system. She looks great.
Oh, but right there's that size disparity you were saying. Again, she is, as she described herself to me, Capri described herself as farm girl strong.
That was a really nice recovery too.
Oh
man, big fall away slam.
Beautifully done by Keeley Capri.
I'll tell you what, man, she exudes like a piss poor attitude. I'll tell you that much.
Well, she exudes confidence too.
Yeah, I'm not taking anything away from her, but you can tell that like she's like a little taken back with this crowd. Is so behind her opponent. Like you can see it all over her face.
Yeah, but right now she's taking her sweet and precious, and Danny getting back up.
Well, when the fans would have heard her say that she's prettier than anybody here in Lewistown, I think the fans would have been against her from the start. But luckily, they didn't talk to her like I did.
No, and I get it too. You know, we talked about how hard it is to climb as a female competitor nowadays too.
Oh.
Maybe that chip on her shoulders might serve her well. Like she's got to back it up.
Keeley Capri giving the ref what for. Now she's giving Pit Chick what for.
And we've seen a lot of great female wrestlers over here. So, I mean, here alone, we also seen Chelsea the Mother come through here. Nice drop kick, basement drop kick. Sahara 7 is another one on the independent circuit. Great talent. Adina Steele. There's some great female talents out there. And somebody like Kaylee Capri, who is relatively new, a year and a half into the business, trying to make a name for herself against 1, 2, against established names like that.
Let's not forget an individual who came through our way that kind of made it big in the wrestling world, Chris Statlander.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, Chris was an Eclipse OG. She was with us a long time, and honestly, too, like our buddy Nyla Rose. Like this is, there's no ceiling to what is possible nowadays, and like. You know, she looks really solid right now. Keeley looks strong.
Absolutely. Danny Lair taking a lot of... Oh, my God.
Suplex. Stalling fisherman suplex.
Could have gone for the pin there.
I'll tell you what, too. You know, when she first came out, I'm like, okay, she's got a little bit of a size advantage. She's going to be stronger. But I'm surprised at how fast she is.
She's been quick, and she's been very deliberate with it. Oh, my God. Danny with a slap. Danny, Patrick Lair, the pit chick. Oh, a chop.
It's not Patrick.
And they are just taking shots at each other. Mongolian chop. Chop.
Wow. That was a meaty chop, bud.
It's Keeley Capri. She is a real powerhouse, and I'm not sure I want to get into a battle like that against somebody like that.
Well,
choke her on the ropes.
And again, Pit Chick. I mean, like I said, it's been a while since she's been in this ring competing, and she is... Whoa, easy.
Don't shove around the referee. That's a good way to get disqualified.
Kitten's got a whip.
She's aggressive, man. I like it.
Like you said before about something about having that chip in her shoulder, that little bit of that attitude could be good for her. Could help her stand out from the rest of the crowd.
Oh my God, she's ramming her head into the mat.
You know, we all come in wide-eyed and like excited about the world we just stepped into, and a lot of us, you know, you come in like all smiles. But there is a point, like even myself, like with you guys saw me go through my goth phase, I guess, Project 13. But I came.
You were emo, dude. Face it, you were emo.
I came out of that a nasty competitor, and like I have some respect for people.
Flexibility.
Absolutely too. Like I'm not a big fan of some of the little shortcuts we're seeing right now, but as far as talent and strength, like she's got it in spades.
You're absolutely right. Just very much taking control of Pit Chick right here. And she told me before she likes to beat her opponents ugly.
It has been all Capri at this moment. Pit Chick is just... Whoa, wait a second. I might be speaking too soon.
Now she's taking time to preen for the camera, which is not something you want to do against somebody like Pit Chick. Pit Chick with that side headlock takedown. Wasn't the prettiest side headlock take on, but again, that might be the ring rust setting in.
Sometimes the prettiest moves aren't the most effective.
Again, sometimes she just takes her straight back into it.
Sometimes it's the down and dirty ones.
That's not even like a side headlock. She just basically put her in a headlock and drug her to the mat. I mean, that's nice chop there.
Almost like a side headlock driver.
Yes. Now
the tide is a turning.
Pit Chick. Still, to me, Capri would be winning on points, but Pit Chick is making a comeback here in this matchup.
Keeley Capri grabbing her jaw.
Right to the eyes.
Breaking the eyes down.
She's still got to capitalize.
Armringer.
Oh, God!
Eat the feet. She calls that the Keeley kiss right there.
Yeah, well, just going to rip her arm out of her socket.
Style jawbreaker. Like, and honestly, she should have gone for the pin there. That might have been it.
Another Keeley kiss.
She's going again.
Well, gone to the well too many times.
Nice
reversal by Pit Chick. Pit Chick, a little smile on her face after that one being so clever, but don't smile until the match is over, Pit Chick. You still got to beat this woman.
Yeah. Get on her. Don't wait. Don't sit in the corner. Just go.
She's looking for an opening here.
Coffin
drop.
And now headlock out of the corner. She's going to go for the bulldog. Yes, she is. Nice takedown right into the cover. No, floated over to the cover. Maybe a little time.
Nope, 2 count.
It was close, but yeah, that was a kick out. I think she's gonna have to wear her down a little bit more. Again, like I said,
I think a lot more.
There's not a lot of weight classes in professional wrestling, but like you still have to factor in for a larger, stronger opponent.
You're right. I mean, it's not meaning to be negative or anything. She's just that farm girl strong that she said, country girl strong that she has.
Forearm rocking the Pit Chick.
Pit Chick. Scooped up.
She's going for deep 6.
Can she?
Oh,
my God.
Man, nasty.
Jeez.
That might be it.
That was a good deep 6 right there. Referee a little out of position, maybe.
Wow.
What did we see?
I'll tell you what, Keeley, the newcomers picks up a huge win over our established, favorite female, the Pit Chick.
I'll tell you what, she showed me something tonight, Zach. I was very impressed with Keeley Capri. Not saying I wasn't impressed with Pit Chick. Pit Chick did the best she could for being out as long as she has.
Now this was a really solid debut. the HWF keeps talking about like setting up for their dedicated women's division, and you gotta think that, man, Keeley just put herself in a pretty good spot if management's watching.
Well, right now, Danny Lair, worse for wear. I'm a poet and didn't know it. She's definitely learned quite a bit of that ring, I think, tonight, and hopefully it serves her well coming up.
Now, you know what, too, and I honestly, knowing Danny, it's probably more the energy getting sucked out of the room a little bit for her. It is tough to watch somebody. You're coming back off of such a tough spot. You fought hard to get back here, and it's nothing against her. But
no, absolutely not.
It's tough to come back from an injury like that.
Well, you learn a lot about yourself from a loss than you do from a win. That's what I've always heard, and we've seen it time and time again. Where do you go after a loss?
No, 100%.
You go back to the drawing board. Where you go.
It's super good that like they're bringing in higher level competitors too. So Danny's going to get there. She's going to adjust, and she's going to be able to overcome. It's just going to be one of those things where you're going to have to adjust to that new skill level. It's rising here in HWF.
Right, and that's the thing, because as HWF gains traction, gains ground, you attract better talent each and every time, and that's no exception here. Again, with Chelsea the Mother and now Keeley Capri, these are two top talents in the indie circuit.
Look at the landscape and how much it's changed over the last 2 years, even in this company. The talent level is crazy at this point.